Good morning, everybody. We will be with you shortly. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Listening to Kick Tracks here by Manila. Bringing back the old intro. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great show called DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. It is, I gotta look once again, October 6th. Can you believe it's Pumptober already, ladies and gentlemen? Pumptober. Look at that number above my head. 125, hit a high of 125.7 something or something, depending on the exchange you were looking at. An unbelievable pricing level coming out in the beginning of October. But you know who called it? You know who called it, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. Nobody other than Pedro. I don't know where he is. Pedro will be with us in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, running a little late on this Monday morning. I put that music down too low there. Anyway, we got a good show for you. We got a good week for you. We got a good month for you. October is the shizzle. It's proven to be quite the month in Bitcoin trading and market trading over the past couple of years. And this one's about to be the same. Welcome Chuck Jansen to the show. Bringing up the YouTube crowd on Chuck Jansen's account. Mr. Doctor, minding the fiat himself, coming to us from Oklahoma. Thanks a lot, Mr. Chuck Jansen, for being the first to comment today. That's right. Les first to comment today. Streaming on Rumble. Just hit the refresh button there, Mr. Chuck. I'm watching it live here. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Yep, it's working fine on Rumble, Chuck. Check it out. There we go. You can even hear me there. All right, ladies and germs. Pedro's running a little late, so I will do Le Bitcoin review today. Let me get the show timer. Been working on the show a lot here, ladies and gentlemen. As I've been saying for about 7 months, we're going to be retooling the show based on us developing an app to keep track of Pedro and I's trades and our outlooks that are coming up for the markets. And I've been working on that. I'm working on a couple of things. As I say many times, if the, there we go. Thanks for joining us. A Fire Chicken on Rumble. If we can get the viewership up and get people using our new app called TradeWave that'll be coming out, tracking out the trades and all that, we're going to turn this into a money-making exercise here instead of a not money-making exercise here on DYOR Live. And hopefully really ramp up the community because people will be interested in the trades that we're making, where Pedro's calling things, where Tom's learning how to trade and all that type of stuff. But one of the things I like to do, and I like to do this on Rumble Premium, so I might also do this tonight since the beginning of the month, Depends on how things go. Oh, but I see Senor Pedro coming in here. I'm going to give him a minute to get situated here. Pedro, your mic is off right now, so I'll let you get situated here before we bring you on. And I also have you muted so I can't hear you. But we'll bring you out in just a minute, Pedro. Well, ladies and gentlemen, give me 1 second here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, seeing that Pedro is going to be coming on here in a second once he gets his camera up and running here, I will pause the Bitcoin talk until he can come on. Pedro, I've got you in my ear. Welcome to the show. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you just stand by 1 second here. For those of you watching on Rumble, Rumble had started it apparently about a minute and a half late today. Make sure you hit that live button. Skip a bunch of stuff here of us moaning around here, getting Pedro started. Still waiting for Pedro's camera to come on. Feedback. And as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, earlier, and this is where my good friend Mr. Pedro Garcia comes into the house. Pedro Garcia, what's happening today?
Everything is amazing.
Woo!
Dude. The market is moving. Everything is popping like it's hot. It's like, dear Lord, let's go. And then we freaking made so much headway with the project that I'm building that it is like, it was such a great, I was like sitting there going like, okay. But then at the same time, dude, I just, this weekend on Friday, I went to the gym, crushed the gym. The problem is I also crushed my lower vertebrae when I was doing some squats. So my back was like, I was actually had somebody pray for me on Sunday and the pain went completely away, literally completely away. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then I was an idiot thinking, oh, okay, this is cool, I'm healed. And I did something stupid and there you go. So, so frustrating. Anyways, so it was a great weekend. What's up with you? How'd you do? What was your weekend like?
I had the in-laws in. The Mrs. Striking had a birthday here, and so she had the parents, the in-laws came to town, and when they come to town, there's lots of cooking. If you recall, I was in Toronto recently at their place, lots of cooking going on. Then they come here, lots of cooking going on. That means old Striking is gaining a little weight here, and it's all bad news from here. You know why, Pedro? Because
they're so yellow.
I'm having the white balance issue too. It's not the teeth, it's your white balance on your camera.
No, I wouldn't say I have perfect teeth, but
it's Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada next weekend, October 12th and 10th, 11th, somewhere in there. Yep. And you know how in the United States, American Thanksgiving, the end of November, kind of Halloween, but Thanksgiving really kicks off the Christmas party season where you just, people have get-togethers, they socialize, you eat too much, you drink too much, yada yada. Yeah, that starts next weekend here in Canada and goes all the way through New Year's. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, so the Thanksgiving starts, gluttony, then Halloween starts and it's just buffoonery, and then half the people in Canada have American roots, so they celebrate American Thanksgiving also, and then of course Christmas parties, and then Christmas and New Year's and blah blah blah, and so I've got about 5 days to starve myself before we get into it.
That's a good problem to have family, friends, people love you and they want you around, and that's a good.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good problem to have. The bad problem is that the cholesterol test in January 8th is like boop 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 boop. And then
You know what's
also
funny?
the bad news is I've been drinking a lot less lately. In the past couple of months, I've been drinking a lot less. And I had a good old nice martini the other day that normally I would just sip and I would be fine. And I had like 3 sips of it, and I'm like, I have no practice coming into the holiday season, and so it's gonna. Although I'll probably spend a lot less money on booze, which is always a good thing. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've been rambling on long enough here on this Monday morning. The story of the week here is Pumptober, and Pumptober started out exactly as planned. If you were with us last week, Pedro and I talked. In fact, even the week before, Pedro and I talked about the plan for October. We were thinking trying to figure out how September was going to happen, and it didn't really go as how it kind of went, how we thought it was going to go. It didn't dive into the red. It actually stayed in the green for the 3rd year in a row. So we thought about it, say, how is October going to plan itself out? And Pedro just came right out and said, you know what, the first week of October is going to be a boner of a week. Bonus week. Sorry, my head's in the wrong place there. And sure enough, the first 7 days of October literally were one of the best weeks in Bitcoin history outside of the crazy pumps in the young days. And it followed our plan exactly. Our plan. It followed Pedro's plan exactly, but I'll take some credit for at least talking about it.
It was all of your plan. It was all of your plan. What are you talking about?
Hey, and
All of you.
So let's just bring that up here. There's my buddy Pedro, big high and center. But let me bring my screen up here, Pedro, because I drew it out for everybody. Oh, I'm working this like I'm still on remote instead of using my Stream Deck. What a dipshit I am. Anyway, here's the.
Don't call yourself that. Please don't. I hate that. Stop that. Sorry. Go ahead.
What an indiscriminate opportunist I was on that. Anyway, you can see here. You can see here the big arrow right over here. Over the green candle is this week. And I drew this chart before this week happened. When Pedro was talking about this month, I'm trying to make a trading habit of setting up the week, setting up the month, how it's going to go, to force myself to plan long term and see how the market's going to go and learn all this stuff. And so I draw it, I set it up, I put the weekly open, the monthly open, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that week played out exactly as planned. Guess who had zero money in the market this past week? Me! Didn't make any money. But it's okay. It's okay. I didn't make any money because I learned, I attempted to do something and planned it and went away. But that's besides the point. Pedro, now tell us what's going on in BTC today. What's going on with this pump, and where's it going from there?
All right, great. So it was funny. Over the weekend, I went to a thing called the Apple Fest. I'm not going to say the city or town or state, but and there's a lot of booths out there, and this has everything to do with what we're about to talk about. And so in it, there was a guy, a small little family firm, with him, looking just for clients and stuff like that, which was cool. And so as I was walking by, he goes and he says to me, "Hey, you got any extra 401ks you need to roll over?" I go, "I got too many. I got like 10 out there." And he goes, "10?" I go, "Yeah, I just jobs and stuff like that all over the place over the last 20 years. And he looks at me, he goes, 20 years? What are you talking about? Like, you're like, as if like, I'm like a, 20 or not 23-year-old, but
I get it.
Guy. And he ends up and he goes, I mean, if you're gonna roll that over, would you roll it over? I go, I'd roll everything over into crypto right now. If I could take all that money and without receiving all the stupid tax BS that correlates with that and put that into not just ETFs, but also new technologies that I see coming out in crypto, that are small market caps between 100 million to $1 billion. And I know for us who are DJs, we're like, what? Oh my goodness. But when I'm thinking long term here, right? Because it's like 401ks and stuff. And he goes and he sits there and he goes, but crypto, I mean, Bitcoin's screaming up. I mean, this weekend it just hit all-time new highs. I go, I get it. I obviously wait for a pullback, but the reality is crypto isn't going anywhere. And I go, with the new Genius Act, are you been following a lot of the Genius Act, the Stablecoin Act, and a few of the other ones that are coming up? And he goes, kinda. And I go, you might want to, because there's a lot of new legislation that's going to allow for the merger and tokenization of many of what is actually happening in the market when it comes to TradFi and making it more efficient. And so it's important to be able to, it's not solidify, finalize your trades instantly versus having to wait, 2 to 3 days, in regards to the Swift system. And I go, are you familiar with all that? And he goes, yeah, a little. And I go, you might want to, because if you get guys like me, they're going to want to hear that you know what you're talking about crypto. I know the vast majority of the money right now is sitting in traditional finance 401ks sitting there, but if you can sit there and tell somebody we can take 2-3% and give you access to the crypto market, this is something that you need to be abreast with and understanding what's correlating here. And so all that to say is, I just gave you now the background of what I'm about to say here. We know that there's a lot of money still sitting on the sidelines waiting. We know that Warren Buffett is sitting in over, I think, 1/3 of $1 billion in cash. That's crazy. I think it's like $350 billion chilling in, short-term bonds, right? And it's going to come point where he's going to realize, I can put this money into stable coins and earn how much? 8, 10, 15%, 30%. Obviously, he's not going to put, a ton of money into it, but he's going to be able to put, allocate maybe 1 or 2, 4 billion, where he's literally bringing in 8%. With that said, when that money gets allocated, I think he'll get tempted to get into crypto. So when we're looking at Pumptober, one thing I want to say is this, is we went straight up. That's not a good thing, right? We have a small cap. We have a small wick here. So I'm not too pleasant about this. When I look at the daily trade volume, it is up. I'm not saying it's not. Like, look, you can see here, it's pretty good for being all-time highs. That's pretty good amount when I'm looking at this, right? Compared
sorry, Pedro, the footer covers your volume there today for some reason. Normally it doesn't.
Let me see.
I'll just turn it off for a second here so we can see the volume.
No. That's okay. I can just move it up. Second.
That's good.
That's good. Okay. All right, guys. Let us know. And I hope everybody's doing well. It's good to see our audience there. I know we were gone for a few days. I missed you all. I pray you guys had a great weekend. I want to shout out to you guys. All right, so you can see here that the volume here has been decent over the last few days. So there's definitely a lot of money coming in comparative to when we were looking at the markets down at these lower levels here, right? You can definitely see the buyers coming in here. And additionally to that, we're also watching it go straight up though. So it's like, I'm a bit timid on this in relationship to what we're seeing, because if we're in Pumptober, even last year we saw the sell-off first, right? And then the rest of the month it just screamed. The first week and a half, 2 weeks, I remember going on the Zach Humphrey show saying, hey, don't worry, this is good. The sell-off is good. These are the areas that we're looking to buy when it comes down to, and we want to capture that price movement at these low levels to going up to here. And that's what we saw, which was a beautiful thing. A lot of guys over at Zach Humphrey's, the Breakfast Show? The Crypto
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, the Crypto Breakfast Club. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Pay. All those guys. Love you guys. Pray you guys are doing well. And so the thing is, though, is that's not what we're seeing this week. Or it's not what we're seeing this month. So I honestly think they're, again, trying to push the market up. I'm a little confused with this aspect of we have a lot of volume coming in with this big push. So This is Pedro saying, I don't know exactly what it's going to do. Like a lot of times I will know, right? This part here, and it's very rarely do you guys hear me say, I don't know what is happening. I think there is, I do think that, but if I don't try to fake the funk. You guys know I do my best, not a I don't know, because
this is true.
I want to be mindful of you guys, and I care about every one of you guys, and make sure that you guys understand. So the reason why I'm saying this is this: the fact that we have all that volume coming in and it's pushing up, but it's first thing in the first week of the actual market, or the first week of the month and the second week into the month here, has me a bit timid, because if it goes first thing up in the morning or in the month, typically we see a sell-off. So with that said, we're going to go long because the market is going up. No matter what, we're, again, in a bull market, we go long when the market goes up. But at the same time, we want to be mindful. This is really important, that as we're going up, we want to keep seeing demand wicks, which is what we're not seeing. Out of, I think, 7 wicks, 1, 2, 3, or 7, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Out of 11 days, you only have 2 wicks of that. Right? And so
interesting.
Yeah. So, mind you, this is important, right? So they could easily bring it back down to take it back up. And so this is where we're just going to say, if it's moving up, you want to see conviction, right? And now we're looking at the daily trends or the daily counts, not necessarily intraday, right? Because this is going to give us a feel of what they're doing. But I want to add this. This is Pumptober, in, not just Pumptober, but we're in the bull cycle of the bull cycle. Meaning it is, we're literally in the last 3 months of the bull cycle, right? Or the halvening. This is when we see crazy gains. We've talked about this, right? This is where I'm expecting to see Bitcoin literally hit that 250, 300,000 that I've been talking about, right? Because we had those huge green candles, right? And so there's that. 2, we're also in a good period where you get the Santa Claus rally, traditional finance, right? Where I think we're going to have a Santa Claus rally, because it's what we're seeing right now in traditional finance, right? With all the negative news coming out and everything, a lot of corporate entities laying people off, a lot of people struggling. You know, we're seeing debt climb really big. We're seeing credit cards climb. We're seeing a lot of this stuff climb. People are losing jobs. Sooner or later, that stuff's going to come kind of to a crash. I don't think they're going to allow that.
Nope, you sat on your mute button. Nope, we lost this feed. Pedro, we can't. International. Welcome everybody. Connect Me says, yo bitches. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just take this time right now to do the top of the hour, although it's the bottom of the hour right now, intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DYOR Live. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. The man next to me in the box is Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. You're watching DYOR Live's daily talk show from 12:05 p.m. to 2:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, soon to be Eastern Standard Time. And what we do is we go over the markets. Yes, I can hear you now, but I'm not sure the market can hear you. Hold on, let me make sure.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah, you're live. Your mic is live.
All right, so obviously my internet on my, it's funny. I've called them up this past week. They said everything's great. On my side, everything is great, except I just don't have internet. So we're actually on my data over here. I've got 2 systems. Actually, I got 3 systems actually, but and they're all separate. You know how my system's set up. So I'm gonna have to reset one of my systems, which is what my PC is on, and then I'll be back. So I'm just giving you guys up so you know.
All right, Pedro.
I'll be back. Give me like 10 minutes.
All right, Fire Chicken in the house. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for putting up with our technical difficulties. Pedro lives in an area where there's not a lot of internet providers, and so the one that's the dominant one can suck ass, and nobody can do anything about it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a low amount of viewers on this Monday. If you can do us a favor, like, share, repost here on the Rumble platform, on the YouTube platform, and of course, welcome to all you LinkedIn viewers watching. We're popping this over on LinkedIn because I thought this was an interesting topic today to talk about this. Anyway, so while Pedro is out, Let me get the second half of the show started here. Let's go to the next one. Segment. We've got this whole production thing back there that we rarely follow. Anyway, let's hit what I'm talking about, the plan for the month here, as I was saying before Pedro came on. God bless Pedro. He comes on. There's a 5-minute segment to talk about what Bitcoin is doing right now for the day traders, and then we have some jibber jabber and a commercial, and then we have an extended period of talking in which he's supposed to go into his in-depth analysis and stuff. And today he just hit it with the in-depth analysis and threw our whole schedule off. Let's see. Let me bring my screen up here. Oh, I can hit this button. Tom, come on. What Pedro was talking about is pretty much relevant here. Let me see if I can get these things off here. Bitcoin price watch. Sky high momentum meets fading volume. Even the various news is, if you're feeling dizzy, that's just the altitude. Bitcoin is flying high at 122,000. Now it's 125. But the article on Bitcoin.com is talking about the lack of volume, which is Pedro has been harping about for a long time. In fact, I've discussed it in the context of if the volume is low, it doesn't matter all these people holders, supply shortage. It's all bullshit. All bullshit. The lower the supply and the fewer people willing to trade means that a smaller subset of market makers and whales can move the price because there's fewer contracts in the market. And so you got to be cognizant of this stuff. Anyway, let's go back to the market outlook here. Bring Pedro's thing up there. All right, here's my weekly chart, which I like going over here. I like to look at this and set it up and see how the market reacts to my chart. Actually, it would be my chart reacting to the market, but we'll just go with the optimism there. Anyway, as we talked about the past few days, as you can see, Bitcoin has just been doing uppity, all the way from 109,000 up to 125,000. In a period of 8 days, which is amazing. It's amazing, and I wish I was in the market, but I'm not. And so let's look at the beginning of the week here. I wonder if I can make myself bigger here. That didn't work. Let's just go back to the same one. Anyway, you can see Bitcoin rising, and then it comes to the beginning of the month over here. It's rising. The monthly open October is 114,000. So we're above the month open. Right from the market has not gone down below the market open, the monthly open, since the market opened. I can't get these words right. Since October opened. And from what Pedro's been teaching me, Master Friend's been teaching me, Crypto Lifer and stuff have all been teaching me, it's an anomaly for it just to go to one side of the month without it coming back and seeing the other side of the monthly open. And so there is a strong, by just statistics, there's strong evidence that it'll come back down below the open here at 114. It may not. There's been pumps in the past where it's just gone up all month, but it's been rare. Of the 15 to 1200 of the 170 or so months Bitcoin has been around, almost all of them, it's traded above and below the month open. But this month in October, it started out going directly up from the October open. So, like I said, statistics say it's going to come back down underneath the October open. Doesn't mean it's going to, but that's how I'm going to plan it out. Because if the theory of large numbers is correct, and the odds are that it's going to do that, I'm going to play the odds. Because every time I don't, every time I play the feel good stuff here in trading, I get my ass handed to me. Seems like Pedro is starting back up here. We'll bring him back up in a minute. I'm gonna put Pedro's mic on mute here till he can give me a signal on what's going on. Anyway, but the point is that we're going up this week. We went up the beginning of next week. We're starting this week up. The beginning of this week is it looks like it's going up. Pedro was talking about following the trend and trading. The trend is up. You're looking at the 1 hour chart here. Price is above that. You know what? I haven't looked at the Forex Factory. Pedro's giving me the 2 thumbs here, which is good. And we'll bring Senor Pedro back in the house. All right, and now Pedro, I was just going over just my outlook for the month based on what we were talking about, and the theory that generally if the market opens at the beginning of the month and just goes straight up from it, at some point it's got to trade below the open. Doesn't mean it's going to, just doesn't mean it has to. But if you look at all the months that Bitcoin has traded, 90% of them have, in fact, traded on both sides of the opening price for that month. So just pointing that out.
Thank you. And this is important to understand. Also, is where we sit in the cycle of the bull run. So let me give you a 5-minute analysis, and then I'll go into the in-depth analysis. Thank you, Tom. And please remind me of that, because sometimes I forget, and I have all these things I want to say, and I forget this isn't the time for it. And sometimes I need that. I was, and I heard that, and I said that was...
I'm blinking the message on the timer and all that type of stuff.
And it's I'm like not even paying attention because I have...
And then these guys in Japan did this, and then...
So let me give a quick little analysis what I expect for this week, and then we'll move forward. All right, so basically, guys, when the market comes down, when we start off right now, we're basically pushing the market up right now, the first thing. So Sunday we went up, starting off, put in a bunch of sellers here so we could actually trade off of them, and now we're continue up. So typically what we do see, right, if it goes up first thing in the week like this, well, typically by Tuesday, we then see a topping pattern. We'll shoot back up, and then we see a basically like a doji or some form of indecision and or a shooting star, right? Where you have a big long wick on top and then the small loaded base on the bottom, and then it kind of comes down and retraces. So that's kind of like what I'm expecting here for this week right now. But again, I want to add this. We're seeing a ton of volume come in, real volume, not like small volume or even medium. This is decent volume comparative to what we've seen in the past few months, right? And so you can sit there and say, wow, we've had good volume coming in. You know what? Most likely it might continue. So this is kind of a iffy here. If we continue up, stay long. Okay, stay long. But if we start to show topping patterns, pick off positions, and then be smart about your entry. Just don't look to go long first thing in the morning. Expect to pull back, potentially even further back, creating the weekly wick. And that would be it coming down here. And I would expect it to most likely, if it does pull back, to pull back to that 8 period, which is basically sitting at the 120 mark right now. So just giving you heads up so you know where it might pull back to, then put a consolidation and then continue back up. So this is what I'm expecting for the week. Kind of go up, potentially Tuesday, see a bit of a sell-off, see a pull back here, down in
Uh-oh. Pedro lost his internet connection again.
into this level here.
Well, we tried, ladies and gentlemen. We tried. As always, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Please comment, like, subscribe, follow, share. Just do it. I think Pedro's coming back here. Yeah, well, you're back, Pedro. And he's back.
Hello? Okay, you can hear me? All right. From there, once it comes back down into these levels, I'm expecting it to go up then, and then see it finish green. And this is the second week of the month. Okay, so with that said, we could expect this week also to see a deeper sell-off. We don't know yet because, again, we're talking about the month, right? This is in relationship from month to week. So we're looking at the full month and how it's going to play out for the full week. And so that's why I'm more adamant to sit there and say, see it go up Monday and Tuesday, potentially Tuesday at the end of the day, see a bit of a sell-off, and then into Wednesday and Thursday pullback, creating the weekly wick for the demand wick, and then see it continue up. So that's what I'm expecting. We'll see what happens there. And then we'll probably finish Friday and Saturday. Like my goal, we'll see 130, 140. So I hope it really starts to get going.
130 or 140 this week.
Yeah, you will see. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, it's important to understand that this is the last few months of this bull cycle. Right. And then what do we see? We see a huge sell-off. Now, people are saying we're not going to have that. Institutions won't allow that. There'll be a lot of people who are going to be selling off their bags, right? You know, sell off for taxes, sell off for a lot of things. So we'll see what happens.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Carmen Crypto in the house, coming to us from the great country of Las Vegas. It's a country into its own.
What's up, Carmen? What up, sis?
Welcome, Carmen Crypto, to the house. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Says good morning, Chumbalones. In case you are new to this show, the word Chumbalone is a Chicago term in which the mafia and the politicians that are on the take refer to the common people, because they call us the Chumbalones because we're getting taken advantage of by the system. And so we joke about that being the Chumbalones, but really now, since we all have the knowledge, we are the ones taking advantage of the system. Anyway, Pedro Garcia says, what's up, sis? What's up, sis? Thanks to everyone watching us on all the different platforms today. We're broadcasting on LinkedIn. For those of you on LinkedIn, the great comment machine doesn't work so well over there. Feel free to join us on Rumble. Just go over to Rumble and search DYOR Media, and you'll find us. No problemo. Or YouTube, same thing. For those of you watching on X, we really appreciate it. What we really appreciate on X is getting something more than a 3.5 second view. Our average over there, like most people that broadcast on X, is under 30 seconds because people are flip. They really don't have the streaming worked out yet there perfectly to capture everyone's eyes, unless it's the hula hooper feet people. Carmen says, everyone is finally coming back to work after Token 2049. Woot woot. Yes, that was that was a big event over there. Singapore. One of these years, Pedro and I will get to it. I miss Pedro. I miss so much going to trade shows. I love going to trade shows. Just even the small ones that you and I have been to. But the big ones around the world are so fun. I mean, I used to go do that stuff with the defense industry. And so it's fun, but you get a lot of the kind of the colonels and general type people are like, muckety muck, and they're like, boring as broth. But I would love to go to the same cities around the world. Instead of going to the defense security shows, go to the crypto shows. That would be awesome. I would love to do that. But that depends on you guys as sponsors. I know you're out there. Pedro, and I know you're out there lurking. You're watching us. You're just waiting for that right moment to say, we're going to invest 100 G's in you guys for this year. So, you're waiting. Now's the time. Trust me. Now's the time when we're small before we blow up.
Yeah,
but
it's
anyway,
really interesting. I'm sorry, go ahead, Tom.
No, go ahead.
No, the thing is I am not looking forward to it as much as you are to doing, because the flying, I feel like crap every time I fly, like crap, and my back hurts, my head is pounding. I always feel that way. I remember the first time I ever flew to New York. I was from California, and I remember after I was just like, what is going on? It literally felt like I was in a fight. And I was just every time it's like anything longer than an hour, like literally, I went from the East Coast flight to Florida, and like for about, I'd say 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I just felt like I was in a hypnotic state, just like, so like going to Singapore, Pedro, those things.
The trick is to make the whole, as I always say, when you travel, it's a war that you're gonna lose, But if you can win the small battles along the way, then it's all good. Like get the free upgrade, or at least a better seat, maybe access to the club, free drinks, stuff like that. All that stuff, and you divide the war into small battles and just hope that you can win some of them. And then next thing you know, the 15-hour flight goes by, no problem.
But it's my body. That's the problem. My body has the issue. Like, that's the issue.
You work on that too. Divide it into segments. Like the first hour, I'll walk in the back of the plane. The second hour, I'll walk to the front of the plane. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yep. As they say, we will figure it out. But we're running behind on the clock here, Pedro. I'm just going to... also, I forgot to mention that at 1:30 I do have to go today. Mrs. Striking and I have a pre-planned appointment here for business. A couple of things. Anyway, so I've got next on the schedule that I'm skipping the commercial break. So we'll just go right into the next section of the show, in which you said you had more to talk about.
Yes.
About the Bitcoin.
Yes, about the Bitcoin. So there is a lot of money with a lot of laws that are coming in that's actually opening up, not just with the ETFs, but what's happening is a lot of small boutique firms out there that, basically manage 100 million, anything under $1 billion, right? There are a lot of firms. I mean, I'd say 80% of the money is really there. And they really don't have access to crypto. They really don't have access to really getting in the market and allowing them to be able to fully give their clients access to money.
Welcome Vincent to the show from Nigeria.
Unless it's through kind of ETFs. And with a new lot of these laws that are coming out, it's actually going to allow many of these boutique companies or boutique firms, financial firms, to be able to add a wider branch of exposure to Bitcoin. And so with that said, I'm kind of trying to be paying attention to where they're looking to put their money at, what they're seeing. I was talking about how with one of these small, and what really generated this idea was that when I saw this family business or this family firm kind of doing things, as I was sitting there, I couldn't believe that he was just, the individual was really ignorant of the assets that are out there. Like I simply, because he's like, well, what about, putting money into bonds? And I said, I would never put money into bonds. I'd put them into a stable coin where I could at least earn, at least 5 or 6%. And if you're putting in 300, 400,000, anything above that, they're giving you 8, 9, 10% right now, based on where you want to go and put it in. And right now, that's a simple money that is within like stable coins. You just wait until you get Amazon creating their own stable coins, right? These are crypto native coins that you can put your money in. Or imagine when you really start to deal with, Amazon, you start to get Walmart, you start to get a lot of these other companies that can now create their own stable coins. You buy their coin and then you put that money, they're paying, they're going to be offering, they got to keep the rate with the rest of the stable or with the rest of the actual other stable coin providers and entities out there that are now getting into this. Dude, it's going to revolutionize the whole entire system. And he looks at me and he goes, what are you talking about? And I go, Amazon, Walmart, and major institutions are going to create their own stable coins. These are coins that are like US dollar parities, but for crypto. Allows people to get in and get out of the market, taking something from a fiat system into a digital fiat system or digital crypto system. And so he was like, oh, wow. And I go, Walmart, any major large institutions are going to be able to create their own stable coins. Why would you put your money into a bond that's only giving you 4 or 5% when I can hold the same security, maybe a little bit off, right? Because it's Walmart, but they're going to have each dollar given to them in a stable coin backed by its own dollar. And so that's going to generate income for them. And they're going to pay you out a yield for that. His mind was just like...
And the banks are freaking out about it, Pedro. And the banks are freaking out. They're trying to kill that. They're trying to get the laws rewritten to say that only banks can pay interest on money or on anything. And it's not impossible that they won't succeed, especially if Congress changes. It's frightening because this market revolution is what competition is good. Competition is good. And it's good to see. It might be too much in one way. They might have too much of an advantage. They might have to pull things back to regulate things, blah, 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 blah. That's how it works. But this is all good stuff. And I don't know if you saw the announcement, Pedro, and I was looking for the article here while you were talking. PayPal is now offering a service to create your own stablecoin.
No, I did not. That is
where
really
literally you and I can create our own stablecoin that's accepted everywhere. Essentially competing with Paxos. I'm sure there's some fees involved that you and I cannot afford, but it's a almost no time to market stablecoin.
Can you send me that? Can you send me that?
I gotta look. I was looking for it. I couldn't find it, but I heard them talking about, not them, but I heard the news talking about it, in which you'll be able to create a stablecoin. I'm sure the liquidity is PayPal's stablecoin, but I'm also sure that if you're going to go to create your own stablecoin, it's not just purely white label and they do all the work. That means you have to benefit somehow from causing people to buy your stablecoin.
Also liquidity and pushing it out there for them as
well.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, you would have to pay, PayPal or whomever to use their liquidity. That's, money isn't free. But, however, if you start small, and you just say, I'm only going to sell $1 million of my stablecoin just so it's used in my little ecosphere of my town in America or Canada, then suddenly people give you $1 million in cash, which you can now invest somewhere at 8%. I don't know. I think I see the DYOR stablecoin coming up here.
Well, I'm just thinking about with like the project that we have going on, and like how with what we're seeing with just traditional markets, man, just with traditional markets and the ability to be able to just bring them, sorry, it doesn't matter. I'm going off on a weird tangent. It's interesting when I look at what's actually happening in the markets and what we're seeing overall. I find it exciting because even if we can't get it through right now, right, and there is a regime change, the institutions have now gotten a taste of it,
right?
And that taste of it, they're not going to. It's like when a pit bull tastes meat for his first time, it's like changes everything. His life goes, what? That's pure meat. Like that's what I'm meant to eat, right? And that's, I almost feel like that's when you think Amazon's not going to lobby. You don't think Walmart's not going to lobby for this. You don't think that, it's the part even crazier is you don't think that Shell isn't going to lobby for this, or Chevron, who sent literally hundreds of billions of dollars overnight, paying how much money to Swift? Just putting it out there. Yeah, that, like, it's just they'll get it in, they'll figure out a way to get it going, and then all of a sudden it'll get taken away from them, and they'll be like, oh, that ain't happening.
Thank you, Vincent. Vincent coming to us from Nigeria says, great talk show today, great show talk. Glad you could watch us. Glad you had the data to support watching our show today, Vincent. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
I'm looking for the article right now about it, but for some reason I can't find it.
That's okay. We'll get to it again.
Yeah, but anyway, relatively interesting news. And of course they could. Once you have the infrastructure set up to create and manage stablecoins, you can easily white label that stuff, just like anything else in crypto land and stuff like that. But
even if it becomes a new decentralized stablecoin providers, right? Like now it's like, well, you can't have Walmart up there. It's decentralized. I can't control it. You're getting paid. Well, are you going to block us now from investing into a? It's 80% of your employees who have the liquidity. It ain't us. You know what I'm saying?
Although I do think that really what's going to happen is that stores, Amazon, Walmart, and Crew, and all those people will say, all right, look, if you hold X number of dollars of our stable coin, you get X discount on prices. And it'll turn the rewards industry on its head. And instead of these just points that, I got 50,000 Amazon points, okay, whatever. What they'll say is, you essentially invest in our company, we'll give you a lower price. And better pricing, and they'll be able to track that. As long as you pay with your credit card on file or your crypto wallet on file, your stablecoin wallet, then you automatically get 10% off your prices or whatever it is and stuff like that. I think it'll totally revolutionize the frequent rewards program and all that. But ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the day here. We need to make a little money, not from Rumble ads and all that. But we do have to empty one thing and refill another. So we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. So be there. All right, everybody. Thanks for putting up with our bathroom breaks. These long shows. Anyway, you're listening to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. The man in the box next to me is Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. We're talking about Bitcoin today. What's going up? The beginning of Pumptober is going exactly as planned. It's pumping. But like I said, it's been pumping since the open of the month. Statistics say it's got to come down below it, but Pedro is optimistic that that plan may be foiled this month, and instead of coming back down below the open, might just rocket for that bull run, Pumptober and into Pump November type stuff too. So we shall see about that. We'll talk about that extensively this week for sure, as we see how the market's going to shape up here. As a programming note, first, maybe we can hit Bitcoin all-time high again. You know what? In my ear, this chart here, it's from Fiat, whatever it is, fiatleak.com. I have it. It's said it has sound effects too, and anytime there's a new high, it's lightning and thunder rumbles in my ear, and it may have pumped that out over to the show. I'm not sure. I don't know how the audio is routed for that. Oh, it just did it again. And so whatever I think I have it programmed just for Binance, and so we're at the highs for Binance's chart right now. So it's giving me the thunder. We're moving up here.
Okay.
Let's bring up Pedro's screen back here. Where is Pedro's screen? There it is. He's got the monthly chart with just a tiny little wick up there. Just a little shrimp dick up there. It's the crying game. That's what it is. It's the crying game supply wick. Whoever gets that joke, you're going to probably burn in hell. Anyway, Bitcoin moving to the highs. Wonder what the I don't know what Pedro's reading, but he's off into a new land there.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm actually trying to share some because I realized I shared an old one, and I realized that, and I was like, wait, why isn't that? And then I realized what had actually happened, so I need to go through, and I'm trying to real quick while you're talking do it, just change it up. But no, what I was thinking, what's really interesting is the fact is that we are like, this is the last part of this bull cycle, right? Or
maybe
this cycle, right? Like where it's like potentially where we're gonna see a big pump, right? And my hope is that, you know, like we do get, I think we're gonna get to 200 or 250, 300,000. I think, you know, if this thing does get, and it makes sense that if they're gonna pull it back down to this level here, okay, we would not want to have a huge demand wave. So that's why I'm like, potentially could pull back. But if they're going to, like we know every single pump, right? Every major pump at the end of the bull cycle, it goes up and then it comes back down to the previous high. That's how it works a lot of times, stays that way for 4 years. And then what do we see? Then we see again, boom, the last 3 months of the 4-year cycle of the Bitcoin halving, right? We see that 3, 4 months, 5 months, it just shoots up, pulls back, shoots up again, and then sells off, right? And so that's kind of like what I'm expecting to see here. So let's go. Right?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Who was that? The Cars?
What?
Who sang that song? Let's Go. Was that the Cars? Sorry, the 80s are coming back to me, Pedro.
It's okay. It's all right. If you can do the dun 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 and then you hear that, right? Which was such an epic. I don't know whoever played that. Who did that?
Whoever doesn't know that Pedro's talking about, I believe the Harold Faltermeyer intro to Top Gun.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what, Pedro? We haven't had this opportunity the entire show, and I'm going to take it right now while we can here. We got a Bitcoin, a Rumble ad to read. And they have not. They've just offered that to us, and so I think I'm going to talk about the NFL once again. Cut that out for a short, please. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, football fanatics out there, are you ready for some primetime NFL action? Tune in to Westwood One for all the gridiron glory you crave. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-changing plays, don't miss a moment of the excitement. Catch every snap, every tackle, and every victory on Westwood One. You can listen to the NFL on the NFL app, on the Westwood One Sports app, on WestwoodOneSports.com via the Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One. And ladies and gentlemen, over here next to me is a QR code. If you're watching on your big screen TV, hold up your cell phone and point it at that QR code and visit our sponsors. Westwood One's not even asking you for any money. They're just asking for your eyeballs. If you want to listen to the NFL wherever you are, go ahead and download their app. Also, if you're watching on your cell phone or on your phone, whatever you want to call it, on the handy, as you Germans call it, in the chat here, there's a link to Westwood One Sports. And also, if you're watching this on the replay, in the description down below, there'll be a link to Westwood One Sports. Thank you to Westwood One Sports for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. All right, back to the important stuff. I'm hearing the rumble in my ear again, Pedro. But fire chicken, yeah, we need to cut that out. Pedro,
Oh, that is epic. I didn't even think about that. I got to start. I remember listening to an interview with somebody, and they talked about how with Pope Francis III was the famous one, right? It was like for 40 years or 30 years. He's like my Pope. If I'm going to think of a Pope, right? Like, I'm not Roman Catholic, but when I think of
Pope John Paul?
Thank you. Pope John Paul. Thank you, not Pope.
And ask the Catholic about that, right?
Yeah, I do. Hey, go where you know where you're going to know where the real source is, right? Like, you got to understand, like, I ain't going to ask, so, so, yeah. So when I talk about
good one.
And so it was really funny is I thought to myself, somebody was interviewing about him and talking about how when he passed and the new guy came in, that guy who came in after him wasn't really the best when it came to doing interviews and how to communicate well with the media. Whereas,
the German guy.
Yeah. And he would just say he would say correct stuff, but it would just be off-colored. And he never really thought how the sound bites would be. And so this interview was basically just saying how Pope John Paul would be very mindful of how the media would twist his words or expound it. So he was very careful on how he would communicate. And that was something that popped in my head. And I remember it kind of sticking, going, huh. And I never thought I would be doing something like this. I just remember just thinking, oh, that's interesting. It's smart for him to think about. And now that I'm here, and potentially if in the future, I start doing big things I am doing big things. I'm doing this show. It's a very big thing. And, but it could be used. A lot of things we've said or done, whether it's like, right? Could be
Welcome
used
to Mondays.
In a court of law. Could be used against me in a court of law. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead because I forgot because I had issues with the internet, a bunch of other things. That's why I wasn't able to come on. I want to throw this out because you don't know this yet, but the whole entire crew needs to know this as well. I'm probably not. We're going to have a very, very short Tuesday, maybe like 10 minutes, right? Or maybe we go on a little earlier tomorrow, so I can be out of here by 11:30 my time, at least current time, because I got to take care of some stuff, and I realized that, and so I needed to let you know that. So. Or it might just be that Tom goes on without me tomorrow and we do Technical Wednesday, potentially. So, just to give you a heads up. Sorry, you didn't know that. I needed to let you know. Sorry about that.
It's all right. I don't know if you can hear this, Pedro.
What's up? Oh, dude. Yeah, I do. I saw exactly what you were doing. Like, there is not a more epic song. Like, when I think about, like, if... All right.
Oh God, I gotta turn this off.
All right, for all you like super crazy legalistic Christians out there, what I'm about to say is gonna offend you. Good, get over it. You have to forgive me. All right, so dude, I think when Jesus comes back, splits the eastern sky, I would love it, bro, if that song just blared out all over the world, and we're like, "What is that?" And he's like, and he's just like, just like coming down, like, "What? Say what?" And then when the guitar riffs, and he's just like, he goes like this, and like light comes down. There's like lightning. Anyways.
Oh, I wish I could play more of that, but I can't because it'll copyright us there. We can claim fair use, but they'll be like, that wasn't fair use. You were just bullshitting.
Yeah. So, you get it. Great song. Great thing. BTC. Let's go. All right. So I want to bring up a couple other ones here because we've actually been seeing a couple things that pump. So let's check out Cake. Cake has been pumping. We talked about Cake back here when we were seeing this stuff. This was about maybe 6 months.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah. Wow. Oh my goodness, bro. That is real. Woo. That gave me shivers. And I'm not even
Shiver
in
me
it.
timbers. Yeah, that wasn't sent over to the audience, but I'll include it now so the audience does hear it when it happens.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so what's interesting is that Cake, we talked about Cake finding support. Once I saw this finding support right here a few months ago, we talked about how this was acting as a resistance line here for us. And so we were sitting there saying, all right, expect this thing to kind of hold back. But the fact that because it's very rarely do you see a monthly area find resistance or find support, right? It typically will play off of it. But once you see that, that's an important thing to be paying attention to. So we talked about a while back ago, Cake here coming down. So this was when it was at like that 223 area. It's now up to, if you got in on the trade, it's up to 378. Because of what's going on with Aster and Binance actually really going through. Obviously, Cake was a part of Binance and the whole entire circumstance that correlated with that. You can actually see anytime you see Aster pick up, you're watching a lot of those origin tokens really step in and become that was really interesting when I said origin, the origin, sorry. But you can see it's starting to pump here. So if you're in on that trade, just understand we've got that 416 area for the 50 period moving average, and that's correlated with, where is it at? On the high here, when it comes to this zone, I was looking at this. So if you're in that trade that we talked about for it, bro, that is so real, dog. And it doesn't shake you at all. Do you feel vibration? Like, can you feel like the energy that hits the earth?
Yeah, I feel the vibration in my head here because I've got these super bass earphones on.
Oh,
Chuck, did you ever get these Shocks Bluetooth bone conductors? Remember I was talking to him about that. Sorry, go ahead, Pedro.
No, I was going to say, so just this area right here, we're playing off of it. The next level here is going to be the top here.
Yes.
So I like this area right here. That's going to be that 430, and that's where we're seeing the that 50 coming in on the monthly. So be ready. But again, so when it pulls back on, if you're looking to pick up Cake, after that, once we clear this level here, all of these other levels here are pretty much been traded through. So we literally will see a pullback probably down to that 270, 260, and then see it rally to that $10 potentially. And mind you, because we're talking about the bull run here, right? When everything just starts to get stupid, right? And so when that happens, like it's just, remember the high of Cake was $50, right? And I think we could see a Cake run simply just because people don't know about it and they're going to see it pumping, and like anything that's pumping is going to get money. We're seeing crypto.com starting to pull back here, right? And so we saw the pullback for the month. Boom, we're starting to see it went down first, starting to go up, pull back again. It hit our area of supply here on the daily here, which was the flip zone that I had. This acted as support and then became a flip zone. So you can see we hit it, we pulled back here, but again, we're starting to find support on the 8-period moving average on Crow again, so we should start to see it go up and tap that 36. We did not get as far as I thought we were going to come down to, which is going to be around that 17 and potentially 15 cents. I know, right?
I know. Even Pedro, I had a short going in there. Right up where your red lines were. I'm like, it's definitely coming back down to 17.
Yep.
But that little pump above your red lines there, I can't point to it, but where there's a big supply candle, it's 2 greens, no, over to the left more. Yeah, there, or my left, I should say, and then up above the 2 red lines. That
right
little pump right there started going against me, and so I closed my trade out. And then I didn't pay attention to it. I should have. And then, man, it was a money-making machine all the way down. The way down. I knew it was going down. I knew it. You knew it. We knew it. Everyone knew it. Everyone was taking their money.
Yeah. But I mean, here's the thing. You're finding it now again, right? You're looking at it, and you can see here that push up here. We're starting to find support on the 8-period moving average. If we break through that, then expect it to continue down, but that's where we're finding support right now. Not a ton of volume coming in over the last few days here. We might break. If it does break down, always wait for the retracement back up into the 8-period moving average. So it would look something like this. Boom, boom, boom. And this is what it would look like with the 8-period moving average. It would look something like this. Boom. And that potentially could either come up into an area right here where this comes down and then pierces it and then comes back down. So we'll be ready to see if that happens. If not, expect it to find support here and then push up and go to that next level of that either 26, but 26 and 26 area, 26.47 to that 26.37 area is what I would expect to see. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell for that one.
Pedro, I'm going to pimp you out here again in a quick second here. I'm gonna trade your valuable time for some 1775 coffee.
Yes, please do.
All of a sudden, our viewership came back, and so.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Appreciate every one of those people who hit share and like. The guys, that helps us out so much.
Sorry, I'm not within the time. I'm within the viewership, but there has to be so much time. Anyway, just before I switch back to what Pedro's covering here, over my head here, Bitcoin coming back up, reaching new highs, 125.6 on the Binance chart. I think that's the Binance spot chart this is tracking. So that means other places it's probably higher. Also, Pedro, ETH is back at 4,700.
Yeah,
it's been following the Pumptober here as well. And you know what? I'm going to bring up my page here real quick like here. On the because I thought we were talking about Aster last week and Hyperliquid and all that, and I gotta find the right.
I'm interested to see what the perpetual futures of trading, because I've had a few friends of mine trading on Aster, and literally, like, one friend is meticulous on just, it's, the reason I say this is one of the friends also traded it, and he put his stop at a low area, and price did not pull back down on the chart, yet he was liquidated on the Aster platform.
Interesting.
And then another time he was actually in a long, and a sell-off happened, and he was trying to, like, so he had to sell instant, there's a little button you can instant sell, and his app did not work. Like, it wasn't working.
Oh, they are suffering. They're suffering from growth issues over there.
No, but they were almost strategic, because.
And this is why. But look at my screen. The blue area is the size or this chart is all the volume for the perpetual dexes.
Futures, yeah.
And the blue is Aster. And you can see that it was a nobody, and the green is hyperliquid here. And all of a sudden, starting September 22nd, that's when CZ started becoming involved with it, or at least publicly becoming involved with it. Its volume just took over. And some websites were claiming that the volume traded on Aster was more than on Binance itself. I find that hard to believe. I mean, there's huge institutional trading on Binance, and I can't believe that the DEX would. They showed a chart, 92 billion versus 87 billion or something. I don't know how it's possible. There must be massive wash trades or something. But still, regardless, if this chart is right, the volume is correct, then Aster is putting everyone else to shame, and we should see a big turndown in Hyperliquid's price for sure.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think people are leaving. People don't leave one platform to go to another one. You just trade both.
Right. But the volume, it means that they're just moving volume. They're probably still trading both, but the volume is both there.
I don't. After what he told me, I just immediately just got turned off. It was like, boom. So let's go ahead and go into Aster's chart here. So we talked about two areas here. We talked about that 150 to the 140. I thought we were going to definitely come down to that 132 to the 127. But once we started seeing more volume step in right up at this level over last week, I said, yeah, I'll probably continue. But ultimately, me looking at it, here's the thing. I care more about the small traders than the big traders, because the big traders can take a loss and they can run that off. There's just a lot of stuff there that it's the small traders who can build up their okay. Well, I don't care. It's the small traders that literally, one small trade could wipe them out, and especially when your app doesn't work. And then you don't respond back to the traders, Aster, that's not okay. It's not okay. It's the small traders that give you the liquidity. But when you're purposely, and when I say purposely, I say this because I'm upset with when you taking out a few traders that they were trying to literally go through and cancel out their system, and your app didn't work. And then in addition to that, a couple of times, you pulled people's stops without even letting price come down there.
It'd be interesting to read the fine print in their terms and conditions. I bet you there's something in there like Binance used to have. I remember early on trying futures, Binance had a thing on it that said no matter what the price is that it trades at, we may pick any price within 5 minutes. You know how much futures market can move in 5 minutes? I remember thinking I made $150 on a trade and I lost $150. I was like, that's impossible. And then I filed a complaint. And they got back to me and said, sorry, that price was traded within that 5 minute window. They've since done away with that, and they moved it down to like 20 seconds or something like that. But that was 5 years ago. It was different. I bet you Aster has some terms and conditions like that. Anyway, Pedro, I brought up the BTC chart. As Chuck said, a new high during our show. So it must be the reason you and I are talking about Bitcoin. New highs here. It's pushing 126 up there. Baby Draco says, should I have bought Bitcoin yesterday? Yup, you should have. So should I. Didn't. What is that called again? I need that hooked up to speakers at work. Fiat Leak. Fiatleak.com. And then the initial page has like a lot of crypto on it, but you can just click on to show only Bitcoin. Baby Draco says, new high. I want a new high. I want to be high as fuck right now. That's how the car dealership world works. Hey, I'm going to go buy a car from this guy. What's up, man? How you doing? I'm good, man. Take the car. Take this Mini Cooper. It's free. Just take it. No problem.
Hey, man.
Just kidding. It's $20,000.
Hey, man. How you doing, man? Órale. Órale, vato. Órale, canal. Anyhow. All right. So
And they got the best deals in the Bay. Remember the timer, Pedro. Got to remind you of that.
Yes, go ahead. I'll let you handle it.
Oh, it's
Perfect.
it's booming in our ears here, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, Baby Draco, unfortunately, you got cars come with a blunt in it.
Orale.
You know what? Before we go, let's see if this thing will give us a new ad here to read. You know what? I think it's going to, and I'll do that. Then we'll have the end of the show talk here.
Matic is pumped. Matic is starting to find support on that 8.
Come on. I got 43 seconds. So, all right, you can go ahead and talk about Matic if you want. We'll let this go another minute or two, and then I'll read.
Okay. All right, so
Pedro, my
Matic,
Raider man, Niner gang.
Oh, get out of here, babe, dude! Don't. Bah, get out of here. Let me. Anyway, I'm not going to even justify that with even a comment. All right, so let's check out Matic. Matic is finding some support. We just saw it literally get above the 200 period moving average, also 100 period moving average. We've got a stagnant 50 period moving average sitting right here. Obviously, we're going to see some type of movement off of it. Here it comes back down, but I had expected to find support on that 8 and then see it continue up. It's showing some good strength. Let's go Matic. All right. That's it. Go ahead.
All right, it is going to let us earn a little bit more money, and I haven't earned any of the coffee money in a while, so we're gonna do that.
Let's do it.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, have you still not tried 1775 coffee? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. And you got to know there's fewer than that. We've been talking about this for a while. You're getting 3 things, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard. You're getting the smooth medium roast. And you're getting the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. No. You're getting all single origin, small batch, toxin-free and mold-free coffee. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, ladies and gentlemen. No. In fact, in my coffee thing over here right now, metal spoon. You're also getting a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions. I like it when it said political opinions better, by the way, but we'll go with opinions. You're also getting the black 1775 tumbler, $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up right here on Rumble. Wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler! It is worth it. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on your big screen TV, there's QR code right here. Oh, they got some neat graphics here. You guys on YouTube can't see this. They got some new graphics here for us. Brewed bold, served fresh, unapologetically at home. Anyway, hold your cell phone up there, click that QR code, visit our advertisers. They like to know if we have an interactive crew or if we're just a bunch of bots. So go visit them, let them know we're real people. If you're watching on your smartphone, just go ahead and to the chat. There'll be a link there to learn more. And if you're watching this on the replay, ladies and gentlemen, in the description below, there'll be a link to 1775 Coffee. Thank you to 1775coffee.com for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. Pedro, before we run this show out today, we got to end a little early here. What the hell's going on with Bitcoin here? I see it's going up and up and up over my head here, and I'm still not in the market. Waiting for that pullback.
Well, let's check it out and see. 3 things we need to be paying attention to. What's the time? 30 minutes. Remember, everything plays off of creating. We need to find out where the trend is taking place on. And hour here, you can see it playing here. But more importantly, you can see, wait for the pullback. You can see this one already put in the hour pullback here, right? You can saw it come down here, put a demand wick in. And so you can sit there and see, alrighty, that's where it was sitting. Boom, pull down, created the demand wick. Yeah, so I would expect again to pull back. We're at the new 30-minute candle. right? So we went up first. I would expect it to come back down to at least 125.47. Let's see where this demand wick is sitting right here, right? So you pull back, and then you can see here already that the 8 is starting to hold. The real trend is really on the 1 hour. You can sit there and say, all right, you can play that where it comes back down, hits, wait for the liquidity, boom, and then wait for it to go up. That's what I would do. But also understand that the whole entire day we have been going up. Okay.
Yes, we have.
Literally. So I would at least
Purple
expect some type of. What's up?
Purple number above me is just nothing but up. Pumptober.
Yep. Yep. Pumptober. Now, also more importantly, we also were above yesterday's high. So we always know. I always talk about how what is sitting here. Sitting here. Audience, what is sitting there?
Oh, sorry, I had your screen up. Let me pull you back
What
in
is
here
sitting
so
here?
they can see it.
What is sitting here?
What is sitting there?
What is sitting
Stops.
Stops. Liquidity. So I would expect them to at least have some type of minor pullback. Wait for it to pull back down to here. How far will it go? I would assume at least that hour pullback. But again, we're watching volume step in though. So look, you can see the volumes coming in. So it's kind of a hard call. You can decide what you want to do. I would wait for a pullback. I'm not going to get it.
Oh, Pedro sat on his mute button. Or no, his screen faded out at the last minute. Oh, boo, boo, Comcast or whoever your internet provider is. Boo, boo, hiss, 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 hiss. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the end of the show today. We got to go. We got some things I got to take care of today. So only an hour and a half show, not 2 hours. But thank you to none other than Mr. Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. Let's get the. Let's run the outro all gassed up here. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Tree City West's version of All Gassed Up. It's been a good day today. Interesting Monday. New highs right here during the show. Must be because of Pedro and I. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take all the credit for the world getting wealthy. Well, we stayed out of the market and didn't. Thanks to everyone that joined us on LinkedIn. Thanks to everyone that joined us on Rumble. Thanks to everyone that joined us on X. Thanks to everyone that didn't join us on YouTube, you pathetic platform that's not doing anyone any good anymore. But anyway, more of a shout out to everyone on Rumble for joining us. Thanks you very much to the whole Rumble crew. Chris Pavlovsky, if you're watching this, thank you very much for watching this show, and let it be known that we want to be part of the Rumble crew. We think the Rumble studio should be hosted by Pedro Garcia and Striking Balls. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm back.
There's Pedro going back to the cell phone. Anyway, that's all we got for you today. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media. A crypto night in the house right at the end of the show. Thanks for joining us. Crypto night on Rumble. Come join us tomorrow, 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time, UTC -4. That's all we got for you today. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking. The man in the box next to me is Pedro Garcia. The man in the box this side of me is weird-looking dude number 9 with weird glasses. Anyway, we're DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. We will see you tomorrow.
Hearts swollen, souls frozen, potion got me open. I can feel the bad omen, lost in this moment.